Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. This is the first Sunday of the month, so it's going to be draw time. I've got the bucket here. There's nobody here unfortunately except me, so I'll have to do the draw. Let's have a look in here. All the current names are in. Everyone's had an email to say their names in here. Right, there's one. That one. Oh. Right, the name I've got here is Brian Webb. Right, Brian, all you've got to do, send me an email with your address and I'll get all those bits and pieces posted off to you. I'm going to do another giveaway next month, the first Sunday of next month. I'll show the prizes a little bit later on. If you want to take part, all you have to do is send me an email with your name, like John Mills, not just John, your full name. Your name goes into the bucket. If it's drawn out, I'll send the prize off anywhere in the world, completely free of charge. The names stay in the bucket all the time until your name's drawn out or until I'm not doing this anymore. These are the bits and pieces for next month's giveaway. A set of Cleveland drills, 1 to 10mm. These are really good. I'm using them all the time in my shop now. An Extreme Plasma mug from my channel sponsor, Extreme Plasma. He also sent these up as well, diamond file sets. I've got a couple of sets of these. They're pretty good actually. They're very handy for deburring. A double boost hat, and I've got a Mixer 2 vernier here that was given to me by my friend Bob. It's not a digital vernier, it's an old-fashioned vernier. Has no battery to go flat. Is in really good condition. So those are the prizes for next month's giveaway. One thing I would like to ask, if anybody's got a Smart and Brown VSL lathe, it's a Mark II VSL 1024. If you can get in touch with us, as a friend of mine doing some modifications to one, and he needs some dimensions from the motor shafts. I've had quite a few inquiries about this jack. It's a version of a Machinists jack, like a wedge. In fact, it is a wedge. There's a screw there that pushes that wedge up a tapered ramp, and that goes up parallel. I don't know where it come from. I either got it given or I bought it at a car boot sale. But when I got it, it didn't have that part in. I had to make that part, and I'm sure I did a video about making it. It's been homemade. It's got somebody's name on. I'll bring the camera in close and see if you can read the name there. It's built somebody, not quite sure if it can. So it was possibly an apprentice's piece, or anyway, it's been made, it's been used because the threads are worn, the pins bent. It's obviously got a little bit of history about it. I'm going to get some rough sizes because people are talking about making them. So we'll do it in metric. The basic body is 32 wide. That's 32 square, 84 long. And that's 12.56, which is ½ inch. It's obviously imperial. Right, so that's a screw thread into there. It doesn't come out because the end of the thread's mushroomed over. That looks like 3/8 worth to me, but I could be wrong. We'll take the screw out. It holds the wedge in. Little hand screw, I'm not making that. And the wedge lifts out, and that's all it is inside. Just a little slot, and that just stops it from falling apart. You can see the wedge in there. I don't know what angle it is. Looks like 30 degrees. I don't really think it'll matter as long as I... So that's what it is, that's how it works. That part there is out of the solid, and that end cap's held on with 4 cap head bolts. Certainly well worth making a one. I'll be able to clean it now, it's getting full of crap. if there's any other bits and pieces you see as using, you want us to take apart so you can see how it works, just see it. It certainly is a handy little bit of gear. I have used it quite a lot. You can make a bigger one or a smaller one, or really simple but very, very effective, very strong. Hasn't got a big range of travel, probably maybe 6 or 8 mil, but basically that's all you need, because you can put packers under here or packers on top of there. That should work alright. It's actually an ash pan for a log burner for the garden I'm building for Deb. That's certainly not too shabby for a mechanic that pisses about. That was done with an Artec MiG 180. I think it's certainly good enough for an ash pan for a garden log burner. This is the gas bottle barbecue. I haven't really done any video of it, I've just sort of made it. I've got a sink grate at the bottom for fire bars, and that's the ash pan we've just welded, which also acts as a damper. I need to make something for this to lock into so I can vary the height of the damper, allow me the more or less airing. That cut out of the Cyberman I made, I'm going to cut a hole in the door and I'm going to weld that in, because I do like Cybermen. That's the grate in there. That's the ash pan, which also acts as a damper. And the Cyberman is going to be set into the door. You need to get that roll to the right radius and then get that tacked into the door. As you can see, I've had it running, it burns very nicely. I made a little catch for the damp at the bottom so I can regulate the airflow. Just that one there blanks it off. And I also got my Cyberman welded on. Be nice to see it burning in the dark. We should get some nice effects through the face on the door. So that's quarter plate that's cut. That's the good side. And there isn't really a bad side to it, is there? The last job on here I used coolant and I didn't clean the machine off, and there's little bits of surface rust starting to occur. So I'm going to get on top of this now and get it cleaned up. A hoover's the best way to get shot of the thickest of this swarf. It's horrible stuff, this gets in your fingers, it's nasty. We'll get some of this sucked off and then we'll take the vise off and I'll show you how I clean the bed of the milling machine up. Not every time I use it, or every time I do it, but I do it quite often. You often get on old machines that have been left for years with the vise on, you get a build up of rust under here where the coolant, you can see how it's starting to rust there. The coolant needs changing on this, it wants more oil putting in. Been there for quite a while now. That's one of the little dowels that locates the vise. You can get a scraper to go in to scrape these T-slots. Believe it or not, I haven't got one. I've made hundreds of the bastard things and sold them, I haven't got one left. So the water's getting under here. It is oily, but it's starting to rust. In fact, if we just left that, ignored it, it would eventually damage the machine. At the minute it's just surface rust, I'll get that off. No problem at all. I normally clean the machine as soon as I've finished using the water on. I just sort of haven't gotten round to it, which is strange because I've got more time on my hands now than I've ever had. There used to be a guard on here, but to get more travel, I actually cut 2 inches out of there. That was basically doing nothing. It just stopped the table coming all the way back. So I machined 2 inches out of there. That part there was giving a lot more travel. This is the slide wheel oil. I'm using it because I've got some. I used 1040 car engine oil for years. This machine has got a loop system on it. I'll show that in a minute or two. Something of that screw as well. So the machine now comes all the way back till it hits a stop, so that's 2 inches of travel that I gained that it didn't have. If you look in the back of here, you can see it's dirty, but it's nice and oily. Plenty of oil on the feed screw, and I have got that, which normally fastens up there, which stops most of the stuff going onto the lead screw down there. Once again, a little bit of lube on there won't do any harm at all. It goes all the way back, so you'll get full travel. Some people put the DRO on the back of here. you lost 2 inches or you lost an inch of travel. And you haven't got much travel to start with. So all that is an old bar mat, a beer mat, and that stops the majority of the swarf going down the back of there. Right, so you'd use your T-scrape, your T-slot cleaner, your bell end T-slot cleaner that I haven't got to clean out those slots. And I have got one. It's a little bit on the huge side for this. You can see the table's got 1 or 2 marks on it. People call them witness marks, where some clumsy bastard's gone straight through with a drill or a milling cutter. They were wrong when I got it. I think I did that one, but a lot of it was already on. It's not in bad condition for a quite an old milling machine. Right, so every now and then I clean up this face because you don't get little dings and raised bits. All I use is screw V40. Some people like it, some people don't. And I've got it's actually quite an old oil stone, but it's only used for this particular job. And you gently rub back and forward, and it takes all the dings and all the high spots off. You're not going to remove any material. You can rub this for the rest of your life and you wouldn't get anywhere. But it does take away little high spots. You can feel it starts to actually stick. Finish it off on the smooth side. And that's basically it. I'll just leave it like that. If I was going to leave the machine, I would put some light oil on there, but the machine's used basically every day. When you put your vise on, it's basically put it to one side and then move it to that side, just so the bed gets worn evenly. If the vise is in the middle all the time and you're just working that little area, obviously you're going to wear the lead screw in that one particular spot. Right, there's an oil pump here and a pipe which goes onto a manifold and basically pisses oil everywhere, but it does put oil where it's needed. There's drillings underneath the table, underneath the cross slide, and it does lubricate them. There's nothing to stop you giving it a little oil with an ordinary oil can, but this does put oil basically into most of the relevant places. See the oil pipes underneath there, go to the various feed nuts, and it does do the job. And once you've used it, you can feel the oil going in, and the machine does feel a lot smoother to use. One more loop point, and that's this grease nipple on here. That's a new bronze nut in there, the new feed screw that I made. The original one was cast iron into there, and with having the riser block in the mill, I wound it up and it actually jumped up the top of the threads and ended up stripping the threads. So we made a new push for there and a new lead screw 4 inches longer.